Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is August 9th, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1980, Ring of Honor's Silas Young. 1991, Little Miss Bliss herself, Alexa Bliss. Of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for August 9th. 1988, Iron Mike Sharp. All right, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to your meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for August 9th. A short trip in the Wayback Machine today as we start in 1980. The WWF held their Showdown at Shea event at Shea Stadium in Flushing, New York, drawing over 36,000 fans. With such notable matches as WWF Junior Heavyweight Champion Tsunami Fujinami defeating Chavo Guerrero Sr., WWF Martial Arts Champion Antonio Inoki defeating Larry Sharp via submission, Andre the Giant defeating Hulk Hogan, Tony Atlas defeating Intercontinental Champion Ken Patera via countout, Bob Backlund and Pedro Morales defeating the Samoans Afa and Sika to win the WWF World Tag Team titles. However, Backlund was already WWF World Heavyweight Champion, so he and Morales were forced to vacate the belts. And of course, in the main event, Bruno Sammartino defeating Larry Zbyszko in a steel cage match. Leaping ahead 6 years to 1986, Ric Flair defeats Dusty Rhodes for the NWA World Heavyweight title in St. Louis, Missouri, to win the title for a fifth time. Flair pinned Rhodes when Rhodes passed out from pain due to the figure 4 leg lock, as the Four Horsemen had attacked Rhodes' leg the previous night. Fast forwarding 11 years and making 2 stops in 1997, one of the most famous matches in ECW history, the Born to be Wired barbed wire match between ECW World Champion Terry Funk and Sabu, took place at the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Actually, this was not the original main event for the show. The original card was to see a 6-man tag team match headlined, but due to injuries and change of plans, the barbed wire match was announced 2 weeks before the show took place. This brutal, bloody match actually ended early, as Funk and Sabu both became entangled in the barbed wire that Sabu pinned Funk rather than trying to separate and attempt more spots. The two men had to be literally cut out of the barbed wire after the match. Sabu, who had sliced his bicep open by the barbed wire, won the ECW World title, only to lose it a week later at Hardcore Heaven, ECW's second pay-per-view. Our second stop in 1997, WCW held their Road Wild pay-per-view event at Sturgis, South Dakota at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, with a main event of Hulk Hogan defeating Lex Luger to win the WCW World Heavyweight title when a fake Sting ran in and hit Luger with a baseball bat. And last but not least, 1999, on an episode of Raw is War, Chris Jericho makes his long-awaited WWF debut. Those were your short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for August 9th. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.